North Korea issued its first response 55 days into the Lee Jae-myung administration, calling it no different from the previous government and expressing unwillingness to engage. Why have they suddenly made such criticisms nearly 2 months into the new administration? Let's talk with political correspondent Ju Jin-hee about this. Mr. Ju, to understand North Korea's intent, note that Kim Yo-chong used DPRK-ROK relations rather than North-South. What's the significance?
Yes, that's correct. This is the second time the term has been used, following Vice Foreign Minister Park Myung-ho's remark last year. They're now stressing that North and South are no longer in a reunification-driven special relationship but are separate states.
North Korea's position is quite clear. They are distinctly asserting the relevance of the two-state theory in their current diplomatic strategy. They are saying there's no reason to improve inter-Korean relations or engage in dialogue.
Therefore, the Ministry of Unification should be dissolved, and the changed reality of two separate states rather than unification or absorption should be accepted.
So South and North are not subjects for unification but separate states. That means we should use terms like foreign affairs or external relations. North Korea has a front department. We have the Ministry of Unification. Will this change?
Experts note that as agencies like the United Front Department were dismantled, key figures in inter-Korean talks such as Kim Yong-chol and Ri Son-kwon have vanished from view.
They've even abolished departments related to South-North relations, so if negotiations happen, it's likely to be on a state-to-state basis, with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs taking the lead.
In other words, if inter-Korean talks resume, it is likely that North Korea's Foreign Minister, Choi Soon-hee, will take part and lead the dialogue with the South. However, for us it's a complex question of whether our Ministry of Unification or the Ministry of Foreign Affairs would represent us.
Yes, that does seem to be the case. But why issue the statement now, 55 days after the Lee administration began?
Yes, when I asked experts for the reason, they said it comes down to internal and external factors. Externally, South Korea is preparing for joint military drills with the U.S., and tensions are rising due to sensitive issues like the U.S. military's presence and tariff negotiations.
North Korea is trying to seize an opportunity where the South Korea-U.S. alliance may be shaken if South Korea mishandles the situation or if the U.S. applies excessive top-down pressure.
As for internal factors, there's the August 15th Liberation Day speech in 2 weeks. There is analysis that North Korea issued a preemptive response to reaffirm its unchanged stance ahead of any mention of North Korea policy expected in the upcoming celebratory address. Given the strong ties between North Korea and Russia, they seem to be clearly stating that they see no need to engage in dialogue with South Korea or the US for now.
North Korea seems to assert its position ahead of Lee Jae-myung's August 15th declaration on policy. This has been political correspondent Ju Jin-hee.